Hello viewers, welcome to this video. Today we would like to talk about quadratic expressions. We want to see how we solve or we factorize quadratic expressions, and specifically the one we call difference of two squares. Now, in somewhere in your schooling you may have come across such a quadratic expression, and you are told that for you to factorize that, then you simply say this is equal to the square root of this, which is 2x plus the square root of this, which is 5, and then you write it again, but you involve the use of a negative, so you shall have 2x minus 5. You are told that that is how you factorize that. Now the question is, how does that one come to play? That's what we want to talk about today. Now you need to realize that the standard form of a quadratic expression is ax squared plus bx plus c, whereby a, b, and c are constants, they are numbers, and then we call this the first term, the second term, the third term. Sometimes we call this one the constant term, the linear term, and the constant term. The first term, second term, third term, or quadratic term, linear term, constant term. Now if you compare this standard form of a quadratic expression with what we are solving here, it's like the middle term, the second term, is missing. So if we write it in a way that, if we must write it in a way that it involves the middle term, this one will appear like 4x squared plus 0x, because it's absent, minus 25. So this is the full form of this one. Now, if we are factorizing a quadratic expression, the rule is that you look for two numbers whose product is the answer you get when you multiply the coefficient of the quadratic term and the constant term. So we are looking for two numbers whose product is the answer you get when you multiply 4 and negative 25. 4 times negative 25 gives us negative 100. So that means we shall look for two numbers whose product is negative 100, and the sum, the answer you get when you add those two numbers you will have found here, it must be equal to this middle coefficient, the coefficient of the middle term, which is actually 0. So we are looking for two numbers which when you multiply you get negative 100, but when you add them you get 0. So let's list the numbers that you multiply, two numbers that you can multiply and get negative 100. Negative 100 can be gotten by 1 times negative 100. Remember, for you to get a negative product, you must be multiplying a negative number and a positive number. It does not matter whether the negative comes first or later. So I've decided to have negatives in the second number. So that means we can multiply 1 by negative 100 to get a negative 100. You can also multiply 2 by negative 50, 4 by negative 25, 10 by negative 10, 25 by negative 4, 50 by negative 2, or 100 times negative 1. Each of these, when you multiply them, they give you a product of 100. But what happens when we add them? Because we need a pair of numbers which satisfy two conditions. When you multiply them, you get negative 100, but when you add them, you get 0. So which one meets that condition? When you add this one, using the number line that we learned last time, when you add this one, you get negative 99. This one will give you negative 48. This will give you negative 21. This will give you 0, 21, 48. And when you add this and this, it gives you 99. So you will see that among all these that we have here, it's only this which satisfies the two conditions, that when you multiply them, you get negative 100, but when you add them, you get 0. Now, that means we shall write this one in terms of these two as 4x squared plus 10x minus 10x minus 25. 5, like that. Then the next thing now is to pair these ones and factorize. Now we are looking for the common factor here. In terms of a number, 2 can factor this and this. So 2 can factorize this and this. So we shall take 2, then x and x. We can take x as the common factor. So we shall have 2x into this divided by this. 4 divided by 2 gives us 2. X squared divided by x gives us x plus 10 divided by 2 gives us 5. X divided by x is 1. So it stops there. Then minus. We have 10 and 25. The common factor here is 5. We cannot factorize x because x does not appear here. So we shall now insert brackets. Then we shall say negative 10 divided by negative 5 is actually 2. X doesn't have a partner there, so it will be negative. Okay, it will be positive 2x. Then negative and a negative will give you a plus. 25 divided by 5 will give you 5. So you realize that this bracket and this one are resembling. That is only when it happens that you can be able to use these two to form a bracket. So you can now form a bracket using these two because these ones are resembling. That will mean we shall have 2x minus 5. Then you pick one of these common factors here. That is 2x plus 5. So these are the factors of this one here. And you see, actually, the short form or the shortcut gives us the same answer. So that is actually what we are supposed to do, but we are always taught the shortcut, which equally drives the point home. Now I would want to leave you with a question here. You try using the long method, the one I've just shown you, and you see whether you have followed it. The question is, we have 9x squared minus 81. Try this, and then you will write your answer in the form of comments, in form of a comment below the video. And please remember to visit our YouTube and subscribe and like. Our YouTube channel is Steve Online Math. We also have a Facebook page which also bears the same name, Steve Online Math. You can also visit there. You like and share so that your friends can also get this information. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.